What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Untitled Nerd Show, bringing you all the nerdiest discussions and all the nerdy news. I am AD. Today, we are joined by a new friend, HBK, and as always, Nerdy Farmer.
Hey guys! Sorry, Nerdy Wife's not joining us today. She's
Sarah does look different today. She didn't have her makeup on.
Hey, HBK, you need to scoot to your right a little bit. You're kind of out of the shot.
We're gonna have to.
Sorry, I don't know how she fits in here. The chair didn't grow. The chair is the same fucking size.
Yeah.
There you go. You're a little bit better. You don't look like Two-Face anymore.
So, biggest topic this week is the recent Xbox game showcase and basic overall comparison of the Xbox versus the PlayStation show. Yeah, Terry is about a foot tall.
You're very true.
I mean,
not
before we get too deep into that topic, let's be clear. You know, let's establish our biases. I'm an Xbox biased individual.
No. We know you're an Xbox fanboy, and
I'm not a fanboy. I'm just biased.
I am a PlayStation fanboy, but I am able to be objective.
I'm being objective.
We'll see.
Okay. I'm an Xbox guy. I've never owned a PlayStation in my life, but
I mean, to be fair, my first gaming console I ever bought was the original Xbox. But ever since then, I've always had a PlayStation and an Xbox. So, I mean, my gift for my wife when we got married was she got me a PlayStation 3. So, I mean, to call me an Xbox fanboy would be kind of hard because that would insinuate that I only buy Xbox.
You're basically a fanboy.
I'm a basic boy, is what you're trying to say.
Basic bitch.
Boy, basic there it is. Xbox basic bitch boy.
Basic X bitch.
Okay.
Alright, so I put together a spreadsheet.
You would. Fucking Asians. Alright. Sex box. I love your title there. It's the sex box.
Nerdy, you're just a banana, then orcs aren't it? Alright, so this is a recap of all the games that were shown on the two shows. So for Xbox, I did include one game from the pre-show. The only game from the pre-show that was even worth mentioning was Balan Wonderland.
Did you watch the whole pre-show?
We didn't watch the whole pre-show, but I went back and looked at the games that were shown, and nothing was... Okay. A lot of them were like remakes or ports or something in the system, so...
Okay. I'm looking at your thing. You got Spider-Man Miles Morales as a top title?
Spider-Man is PlayStation.
Okay,
Sony owns Spider-Man the same way Halo is Xbox.
No. Let me explain why I'm questioning that. It's because I don't think it's a standalone game. I think it's an expansion, isn't it?
No, I've already said on the show that the Insomniac confirmed it was a standalone game.
Okay, sorry. I've read other things saying that
the game said it was a standalone game.
I've read other things saying that they are now saying it's an expansion.
Okay, but have you read things from Insomniac?
From interviews that said interviewers that talked to Insomniac. So I mean,
either way, it's Spider-Man.
Okay, fine. We'll call
it Spider-Man transcends the gaming world. Okay, he's the best selling or the best most profitable superhero ever, and it's not even close on who's second.
Get Everwild out of there. The game isn't even left.
See, because Everwild came out with the fact that they don't even know what the fuck type of game it is. I was actually going to move it down here.
But I liked what I saw from Everwild, even though they're still in the design phase. It was just a
cinematic trailer, and they don't even know what kind of game it is.
A lot of games are cinematic trailers. Okay, well, I would say know
what they are.
I would say Avowed would be a top title for Xbox.
No, it's new.
Well, yeah, it's a brand new title.
It's a brand new IP. It's not an established. Top titles are things that are established.
Actually, it is established. I did some research on it. I went to Obsidian stuff and did some interviews. It is an established. They're using the universe the world, and I forget the name of the world is, but they said it from the Pillars of Eternity series. So everything they're doing, like the background, the world, it's already been created. It's just now they're taking it from a isometric third person game to a first person RPG.
Okay. If you wanna do that, I'll do this.
Demons, I would actually agree with
I
that.
don't think
Demon
tell me
Souls
why.
is a top. I would agree with that Demon Souls is probably a top title for them because of the huge fan base Demon Souls has.
Yeah, Leroy, I don't
it's
know.
a remake.
These aren't all exclusives. They're just what were shown on the consoles event.
It is a remake, but I would say it's one of their top titles.
Right.
A lot of people are excited about it. I wouldn't disagree with that.
See, now I got my spacing all fucked up.
Let's see. So PlayStation, Resident Evil, The Village, Hitman 3, Solar. What was Solar Ash?
It was that based on a Hyper Light Drifter or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Based on that universe.
Mm-hmm. Oddworld, Soulstorm.
You're just pissed off Soul Creek because you didn't remember Solar Ash.
Sackboy, Big Adventure, Gran Turismo 7, NBA 2K21. Isn't NBA 2K21 coming to Xbox though?
These aren't exclusives. These are what we're showing on the show.
Oh, okay. Well, then where's hold on. Where is the Assassin's Creed on Xbox? Because they showed that on their first show.
We're covering the recent show, not both shows.
This isn't covering of both shows?
No.
Okay.
Because then Xbox's list would be way bigger. You can't. We're comparing the individual shows. Obviously, if you compared 2 shows versus 1, then Xbox wins.
Well, no, PlayStation had 2 shows.
When? What was it?
The first show, they didn't show a single game. All they did is talk about their platform.
That's not that wasn't a show for the general fans. That was just a freaking reveal for talking about the actual console and shit.
Yeah, the capabilities of the console.
Yeah.
That was where they released the screen footage of what it's going to be able to push.
Yeah, they did the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
The new Unreal Engine. But that's kind of what Xbox did with their first show. They just showed more games.
Nah, they marketed it as a gameplay showcase.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, fine. We're just comparing the two most recent shows.
What's up, Bobby?
Warm 40K now with extra orcs popping out of the ground whenever you start to fight. What?
First PS5
I don't think they showed a single orc in the Warhammer 40K thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like it's they literally showed cultists, or for the the non 40K junkie like AD zombies.
All right.
You missed a white spot.
The white spot.
All right. Well, let's talk about the games, and then we can talk about some of the more information I got on what Xbox has released along with the show. So, and what they said on the show that we may have missed, because I went back and watched some of the stuff, and they kind of hinted at the stuff.
Well, yeah, I know they talked about Hellblade, but it doesn't count as because they didn't show anything. So.
No, not just games, but their strategy this time around. Because I'll say this now. If we're going just based off of what they're doing for their consoles, PlayStation's going to win the console war, hands down. When it comes to the actual video game company wars, I think Xbox is playing the long game, and I think they're going to win. And I'll explain later.
Well, you think they're going to win, but the basic conclusion from these 2 shows so far is that PlayStation is still winning. Like I said, Xbox needed, other than Halo, which was expected and obvious as shit, Xbox needed Fable to stay in the fight, but they're still not winning. They gave themselves a fighting chance, but they're still not winning.
Well,
based
I
off of
mean,
these
if
shows.
we're basing just off of what's coming to the console in general, yes, I agree. I would solely agree because just by looking at the series, for example, Resident Evil versus Stalker, there's a bigger fan base for Resident Evil versus Stalker.
Yeah.
Stalker's got a very loyal fan base and got a very large fan base, but it's nowhere near like what Resident Evil is. State of Decay versus Hitman. State of Decay is got a great loyal fan base. I'm one of them. I love the State of Decay games. However, Hitman's probably much more popular. I think Solar Ash doesn't come close to Warhammer. Oddworld probably doesn't come close to Warhammer. Sackboy.
Sackboy versus Psychonauts is interesting.
Well, Sackboy versus Warhammer. Sackboy is going to have more followers than Warhammer, I think. Warhammer's like really big, but I don't know how big they are in like video game world. They're starting to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger, but I don't know if they can compete against something like Little Big Planet.
I think the biggest thing with like Stalker and Warhammer are that back in the day, PC gaming was nowhere near as mainstream as console gaming. Mm-hmm. So even though they have their hardcore fan base, it's nowhere near as big as a Resident Evil fan base or Hitman, or something like that.
I mean, Xbox is competing against a company that's been producing great fucking games for a long time. And Xbox went through a phase where they weren't putting money out to individual developments just for Xbox games. I mean, you look at the list of games that PlayStation 4 had that were PlayStation exclusives, monumental games. Xbox can't really keep up with that.
Well, I think what Xbox has always done, and I think they're trying to go back to that. They stumbled big time. Not even stumbled. They fell flat on their fucking face with Xbox One. They totally screwed themselves because they tried to do this whole. This is the entertainment box. It's everything
all-in-one entertainment system.
Yeah. And they fucked themselves. You know, they double fucked themselves when they almost made it so it had to be online all the time. You know, so and people hated that concept. So you know, it was a complete disaster, and they never recovered from that. Now, if you look back to when the original Xbox came out, and even the 360, versus like the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3. Xbox has always been touted as, if you like multiplayer games and you like community, buy an Xbox. If you like great single-player experiences and you want to just have a great by-yourself gaming experience, buy a PlayStation. That's always been kind of the decision people have had to make. Well, we've gotten to the point now where PlayStation, I wouldn't say their network is as good as Xbox, but it's at least comparable. So what Xbox is trying to do, I think, is they're trying to go back to the idea of we're better hardware and community-wise. And I think they're going to pull it off. Because if you look at the game lists, most of their big titles that they're trying to push are multiplayer-based games. Versus if you look at PlayStation, all of them are going to be, for the most part, single-player experiences.
Yeah. PlayStation is about the adventure. Xbox is about the
community
interaction. Yeah, the community.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I think that's where they're going with, especially if we look at what they're doing with Gold and they're doing with Game Pass and the game. You know, did you hear about the game streaming platform that they're releasing this fall?
I read a little bit about it, but I didn't get too much detail.
Well, the cool thing about it is if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, you get it for free. So if just you know, if you have a little box for Stadia somewhere, you just may as well just X that out because Stadia is absolutely dead now. Considering the fact that if you're your Game Pass guy, you're going to get all the Game Pass stuff streamable to like your phone or whatever. So, Leroy says I'd take single player. Well, and that's fair. Like, and that's always been the decision that gamers have had to make if they chose either Xbox or PlayStation. I really think that's where the decision process lies.
Yeah.
Now to go past what we have on games here, PlayStation is going to win the console war. More people, and I'm going to call it now, more people are going to buy PlayStations versus the Xbox Series X. Guaranteed. Xbox will win the long game. Because how they're doing the whole subscription stuff and how they're making it so because they said, what is it? What's the head of Xbox? Somebody remind me. Phil Spencer?
Yeah.
Right? Phil Spencer came out and said all of their exclusives will not be out. There will be no exclusives to the Series X. Just the Series X on release. You won't see an exclusive to the Series X for at least a couple of years.
Yeah.
They're saying that everything that's coming up now will be able to be played on PC, the Series X, and the Xbox One generation. Which, from a gamer standpoint, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That means that all of us folks who really don't have the money to go out and buy a $500 new console, especially during a pandemic, can literally go, hey, I get to enjoy all these cool games, versus PlayStation. If I want to play Horizon Forbidden West or Spider-Man Miles Morales, well, I think Miles Morales will be on the Xbox or a PlayStation 5. I think that'll be on PS5. But if I want to play the new Ratchet & Clank, or any of these other Resident Evil, Hitman 3, all these other ones, Godfall, I'm going to have to buy a PlayStation 5. And I think that, in the long run, is going to hurt PlayStation. So I think it's now you have to look at it. PlayStation is doing a hard new release, and I think Xbox is doing what a buddy of mine and I were talking about. They're doing a soft release. They're like, hey, this is our new system, but you don't have to buy it right now.
Which is kind of a ingenious idea, inevitably, because the way things get released now, I mean, cell phones, even refrigerators and washing machines, much less consoles and computers. Mm-hmm. There's always bugs in them when they get released that get worked out for the first, couple, 3-4 months before, they patch everything.
Yep. God, that's why I tell all of my subscribers, don't buy a console when it first released. Wait 6 months.
Yeah.
Wait.
So,
and that's going to be great because I've been Halo, Assassin's Creed. I've been Xbox for years, and those are titles that I really want to play and, might have to budget in order to buy the new Xbox. But if I can continue to play those games on the Xbox One that I have, well, it's perfect. Let the bugs get worked out, knowing that I'm still going to invest that money down the line in a new Xbox.
Yeah. I think their approach is going to be a lot more gamer and user-friendly. And I also think that the fact that they're letting all these games, their subscription system alone blows PlayStation out of the water.
Yeah, Game Pass is a big winner for them.
It blows PlayStation out of the water, and now that you have Game Pass Ultimate, and now you're going to have Game Pass Ultimate including Game Pass or game streaming, I don't know how PlayStation would even compete with that. I don't think they can.
Well, and the new Xbox, and I'm not sure about the new PlayStation. They're all going to be backwards compatible, correct?
I know Xbox
really pushes the backwards compatibility more than PlayStation does.
Which is crazy because that was the big seller of the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
I remember getting the PS3. I had I still have it actually. The original PS3, the roundish shiny one where you could put your PS2 games into and your PS1 games into it and it would play it.
Yeah.
And then they stopped making that one.
I remember reading something that Xbox was making sure that their new console was going to be backwards compatible because they came out and said there's no reason for someone who has spent $59.99 on a brand new video game to have to go then back out and spend another dollar on it at the store to buy it again. It's pointless.
Yeah.
You've already bought that game, that experience. You know, we're not trying to make any new money off of you for something we've already produced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I respect. I mean, that's a...
But after going back and I'll agree with AD at this point. There you go. I'm conceding defeat. If we look at just the game show themselves, comparing the two game shows, if we're just looking at those, PlayStation presented a better game show. Yeah. Even putting my subjective feelings about Stalker, State of Decay, and Warhammer aside, I put those aside. Objectively, PlayStation put a better show up. But I liked Xbox's games better, personally.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm super excited about Warhammer 40K. I love 40K stuff, and you guys know that. And State of Decay 3 looks like fun. Well, looks like it could be fun. We just got a cinematic trailer, so
Yeah.
How many of these? And here's a question: how many of these actually showed gameplay versus just cinematic trailers?
Let's see. Stalker didn't show gameplay, did it?
No.
State of Decay didn't.
No.
Warhammer didn't.
No. It showed what potentially could be gameplay.
Yeah.
But they didn't show that it was actual gameplay.
Yeah, Warhammer, from what you saw, would make you.
That was wholeheartedly like, and
it looked like a first-person shooter type of game. It's
going to be a Left 4 Dead style. It's going to be Vermintide, but instead of Warhammer Fantasy, it's going to be Warhammer 40K.
Yeah. Psychonauts had gameplay. Phantasy Star had gameplay. Forza,
Forza didn't have gameplay,
but you know what the gameplay is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice cars that go fast that are shiny.
Zoom.
I mean, Halo had gameplay. Fable did not. Avowed
did Halo have gameplay?
Yeah,
they had the world engine.
No, they had gameplay.
There was a big demo at the beginning of the show.
Huh.
Yeah. Outer Worlds Peril of Oregon had gameplay. Destiny 2 Beyond Light, did they have gameplay or did they just do cinematic?
I think it was cinematic, but it's Destiny. It's
probably just cinematic.
It's just an expansion of Destiny, so...
Alright, tell me why. Which one was that one?
That was the kind of, what is it called? Fucking...
Oh, the graphic novel one that you absolutely were pissed off about?
No, As Dusk Falls is the graphic novel. Tell me why it was actually a graphic adventure, like a Strange type of game.
Okay. Then we had the Medium. The Medium looks cool.
Medium looks interesting.
The Medium looks cool.
The whole
I'm gonna have to really look at the Medium versus Ghostwire Tokyo and see which one I want to get, because both of them look cool. Grounded comes out next week.
Horror game. The Medium is more of that. I think Ghostwire is more of an action game, but
you think so? Because Japanese ghosts are terrifying.
Yeah, but it was also presented in a kind of a cartoonish way, and it was more about the gameplay and like the combat and stuff, so.
Maybe. I hope so, because like I said, Japanese ghosts are fucking terrifying.
Yeah. And the Medium looks more of a pure kind of Silent Hill type of game, which is interesting.
It looks crazy creepy. I might be playing the Medium. I can call it now. Grounded comes out next week. And to be entirely honest, I think it comes out on Game Pass. You want to check that game out when it comes out?
Not really.
No?
I don't know. I mean,
come on, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
If I still have Game Pass, I canceled my subscription, so if it's still going, then sure. But
you canceled your Game Pass subscription?
Yeah, because I haven't touched the Xbox in like forever, except for when you forced me to play Fallout.
I bought the game for you.
What's up, Ace? Girlfriend is out of town.
Man.
This is your new girlfriend.
And it's the lead singer, ZZ Top. You know what? I can see it. Let's see. Grounded gave gameplay. The Gunk. Did that give gameplay? I think it did.
It did, yeah. It was weird.
Balan Wonderland.
It was that pre-show thing that we saw, and it had that dude like sucking its dick real hard.
Yeah, I remember. It was like anime weeaboo craziness, stuff you like. Let's see, Tetris.
That one looks interesting.
Yeah,
I mean it's Tetris.
It's Tetris, but it's a new take on
Yeah.
I just think the whole
Tetris.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair though, and I did a little research. Nintendo's been doing a version of that for a couple years now.
Of Tetris.
There's a Tetris community-based thing that you can do on the Switch. It's not very liked because you have to pay like a subscription to play it and everything. But yeah, it's a thing. And the Nintendo eStore.
That was kind of the problem I had with the trailer, is that this whole weird community thing they're trying to push. It's like, come on, we don't care about
Tetris.
that.
It's Tetris.
It's Tetris. Like, you know,
it's like community solitaire.
Crossfire was, you know, generic shooter number 67.
Yeah.
As Dusk Falls was that weird ass graphic novel. With...
I'm gonna say it now. I'm gonna request that you play As Dusk Falls when it comes out.
I might have to.
That's a good point, Mr. Soul Creek.
Yeah, new console scene tech, most modern hardware ever, launch title Tetris. I mean,
it's like
flashback
to like the 70s, 80s.
It's like when they said fucking Assassin's Creed was gonna run at 30 FPS. It's like,
hey, you know what though? I'm waiting for PlayStation to fucking up it and be like, you know what? You showed Tetris, we're bringing fucking Pong.
Oh my god, Pong would be such a big hit if they brought it back.
Yeah, all the fucking hipsters.
PlayStation would automatically win. Fuck God of War. We don't need God of War.
Pong.
That or like Galaga.
And then Everwild, like I said, Everwild was interesting until they said we don't know what type of game it is.
I was kind of disappointed they said that because I liked what I saw.
Yeah.
I liked the Giraffalope, and I liked the art style was really cool, and it was pretty. And then it's like fucking Nokia phone Snake. Oh god, yep, the PlayStation would win then for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, there was a time back in the I guess PlayStation 2, either PlayStation or PlayStation 1. PlayStation started taking older games like Centipede and Asteroids, and they started remaking them into new experiences that weren't like the arcade games.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that mentality coming back. I think that'd be cool. I'd play like a first-person Centipede game.
There was a Pong remake a long time ago. What was that on?
Pong remake? I don't know. I didn't know there was a Pong remake.
Yeah, it was like a 3D Pong where instead of like, you know, the left and right side, you were playing like from a third person view.
Oh yeah, and you had to move up, down, left, and right. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. I honestly don't. I mean, to be fair, isn't the Pong remake basically, you know, Mario Tennis?
I don't know. I've never seen Mario Tennis.
You've never played Mario Tennis?
No.
You should play Mario Tennis. It's fun. Mario Tennis is kind of fun.
Wii Sports. I have played Wii. I played Wii Tennis. Is that the same?
It's tennis.
Tennis. Pong is tennis.
Tennis is tennis, but Mario Tennis
I'd like a
fun.
First-person shooting version of Frogger.
They did remake Frogger back in the day.
They've pretty much remade everything.
Yeah. I remember because my mom was big on those whole arcade
Pac-Man
games.
Remake, like a 3D Pac-Man. That was on
PlayStation. Oh my god! No, no. Do you not remember the Pac-Man on Super Nintendo, where Pac-Man was a person and you walked from there's like a side scroller type thing?
That's what the PlayStation one was.
Is that what that was too?
Yeah, it was kind of a platformer type of.
It was so weird.
Pac-Man.
So weird.
Zombie horde survival shooter open world RPG Frogger.
You're saying all these things I like. When does this game come out, Mr. Soul Creek?
Open world.
Wait. Isn't that basically what Biomutant is? The game we'll never see.
Dude, Biomutant is just everything.
I swear, they just keep showing me Biomutant every couple months just to piss me off. Have you seen Biomutant
at all?
I've heard a little bit about it, but I've never seen anything actually populate.
The last footage they showed of it just seemed like they were trying to do way too much. They were trying to make it everything basically.
I mean, you're an RPG, you're open world adventure, action. You have mechs, you build stuff, you create your own guns. Just everything is
open world RPG with full character customization, full weapon and armor customization. And even has what looks like a pretty advanced combat engine, like almost DMC like.
How long have they been working on it?
For like 60
years and years and years. And they keep like the original Biomutant show trailer was back in 2016? And they're like, and then it was supposed to come out in 2019 and it didn't. And then it was supposed to come out in 2020 and they kept pushing it back and they're pushing it back. Like, I don't know when or if this game is ever going to make it.
At this point, it's probably not going to come out. And if it does, it's going to be shit because they're going to have to cut half the shit that they've spent the past 4 years working on.
Yeah. I honestly the only way it's going to come out is if they just back off on all of that shit that they talked about in the last show, because they can't do all that shit in one game.
I don't know. Like, and they still don't have a release date. I think they're afraid at this point to give us a release date because we've held them to those release dates so many times.
Biomutant at this point might have to come out on its own console just to handle all of that game.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I want it. I really want it. And if they let's put it this way, if they if they're able to actually do everything they said and present it in a good manner, Biomutant has the potential. And I'm saying this just facetiously because I don't think they could do it. But if they could do that, Biomutant has potentially to be the greatest game ever created.
I think that's what they're trying to do. It looks like they're really trying to shoot for the greatest.
Yeah, but inherently the greatest games, some of the greatest games that have ever been, haven't been with the idea that we're going to create the greatest game. It's just something that's kind of
they did that. They did what they did best in that game. You don't play God of War for puzzles or open world. You play God of War, just beat the shit out of stuff.
And it's one of the best games ever.
Yeah,
I don't have a PlayStation, but I'm a huge Horizon fan. I actually sat down and watched the YouTube cinematic videos. It's like 5 hours and 46 minutes. I watched that. The whole fucking thing.
Selfless plug for myself. Game. I've been working on a Horizon Zero Dawn playthrough, and it's on my YouTube channel. Selfless plug for myself.
It's never gonna be finished. So
I'm working on it. It started a year and a half ago. I've got like 15, 20 episodes in. I'm going back to it this weekend, and we're gonna start fishing.
Horizon releases on PC in a couple days.
It does.
Interesting.
It does. That's something else I've noticed. Do you think PlayStation's making these choices because of what they're seeing Xbox doing?
I would assume so. I mean, because otherwise PlayStation has no connection to PC, so
yeah,
it's kind of weird considering that it's Microsoft still. So it's kind of like PlayStation is.
Yeah, but it's not in the Microsoft store. It's on Steam.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it, Xbox has always been connected to Microsoft with, PC gaming. They've always been on that side, and PlayStation has turned more of their shit into movies.
Yeah. I mean, that's Sony.
Yeah, that's their backup.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 2 Hitman game movies, Spider-Man...
Were the Hitman movies actually good?
There were 2 Hitman movies?
Yeah, there was the first one, and then they tried to redo it and retcon it
with a different actor.
Wasn't it Sony who made the Assassin's Creed movie too?
Wasn't what?
Wasn't it Sony that made the Assassin's Creed movie too?
I believe so. And it kind of sucked.
Nobody says that they're good at what they're doing. It's just that they're doing it.
Yeah. Both of the Hitman movies, if you turn your brain off and you just watch action, yeah, they're really cool. But if you ever played the Hitman series or know anything about it, kind of trash.
I mean, they did Spider-Man. I mean, it's not a video game, but you know, it's
did
still.
Sony produce Rampage?
The Tobey Maguire ones.
Yeah, they were good up until the third one.
Yeah.
I mean, did Sony produce Rampage, the movie with Dwayne Johnson?
Dwayne, I don't know.
Let's goggle it.
I mean, to be fair, that one's kind of the same way that you were talking about, like, you know, the Hitman one. Like, it's a great, fun movie to watch. It's got great comedy. It's a good movie. But, I mean, it's not going to be like a franchise creator.
Produced by, story by, based on production company New Line Cinema. Warner Bros.
Warner Brothers. Okay. So that makes sense why that video game movie was good. Nah, to be fair, Sony, I think they're in production with what's that game called with Nathan Drake?
Uncharted.
They're in production. I think who they got?
Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg's been signed for it now?
I believe.
Who's he gonna play?
I think it's him. I was just seeing it's Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg on IMDb. Holland's supposed to play Drake, and Wahlberg's supposed to play Victor Sullivan.
Okay,
that's what they're credited as.
That's another big IP of PlayStation's we didn't see on their stuff. No Uncharted stuff.
Can they do more Uncharted stuff? Wasn't the last game kind of the final?
Well, but I thought he had like daughters or something, and they were going to continue on the series.
When did he have daughters?
I don't know. I'm not a huge Uncharted fan, but I thought that's what
there was like a spin-off with like a couple of the side female characters. But
listen, Tomb Raider has showed you never have to really end it.
Oh wait, Tomb Raider. We didn't see anything from Tomb Raider either from both of the shows.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything new from Tomb Raider.
Yes, it was Uncharted: The Lost Legacy was the most recent one, I thought, in 2017, or.
Oh, that's true. It is Naughty Dog. Fuck Naughty Dog. They fucked themselves. That's why if they did have anything Uncharted, that's why PlayStation didn't show it, because they know Naughty Dog is a failure now.
I mean, they're not really a failure. They just failed.
No, they're a failure.
So it's just no more games for them at all. You don't want to do anything.
What did they do?
Last of Us 2.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they lost a lot of fan base on that one. Fan base and goodwill. So
all I remember is when y'all were done streaming The Last of Us 2, you both came out into the living room and was shouting over the TV, which is not quiet, about how much that game sucked.
Yeah.
The worst part is, here's the worst part, is as I wanted to warn them. I knew it was going to be bad. I knew it. And I was like, I can't, because I know you guys love this franchise so much. Maybe you'll find something good.
He made me spend $60 to find out for myself.
I mean, I didn't
email them about
but if I had warned you and said it's going to be a totally awful game, just work, and it actually ended up being something you were interested in, you'd have been pissed off at me.
If you knew it was that bad, you should just go ahead and spoil it.
I don't know. We all wanted to warn them. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. We all did, but we also wanted to let them.
You all wanted to, but none of you actually did.
It's because we respected your.
You should have flooded my Discord with messages and just write out the whole fucking story, and then I would be forced to look at it.
Okay, but if I would have like typed in there, they killed fucking what's his face, Joel, in the first hour and a half of the game, you know, you would have been pissed.
Well, yeah, based on all the hate, Joel dying was already expected. The thing that pissed me off was how he died, which was lazy as shit. And it was done for pure shock value with no fucking sense of like good writing or anything.
I mean, not to go into a tangent, we've already talked about how they could have really done that a lot better.
Yeah.
And neither one of us are video game developers, so the fact that two guys just talking about nerdy shit on a fucking show can come up with a better storyline than they did just shows how much they did not think about it.
Yeah, fuck Naughty Dog. Let's move on. But like I said, if PlayStation has anything in their pocket,
I think they do.
Their guaranteed knockout punch is God of War.
I think they do. I think they. Well, they've already announced they're going to have another show. I think that's what they said. And Xbox has already announced that they are having more coming out. So, to be entirely honest, I feel like we're still watching two boxers circle the ring with each other, waiting to see what the knockout blow is going to be.
Yeah.
I think that's
Xbox is
what
bleeding more.
I would agree. Microsoft, if like I said, if you don't take into account what their long game business practice is, Microsoft looks like that they're getting their ass.
I mean, if we're saying Microsoft versus Sony, Microsoft is winning, but PlayStation versus Xbox, PlayStation is winning.
Yeah, I feel like Xbox / Microsoft and Sony / PlayStation, to make an analogy, I feel like we have Apollo Creed versus Rocky.
Yeah, but can't you argue when the console win the war?
No. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, what the console? If they win the console war, they win the war entirely.
I mean, if Xbox per se wins the console war, they're already leading the other side of the house. So that's a twofold full victory.
Yeah.
So if Xbox pushes and wins the console war, then they kind of win everything.
Yeah. But do you think Xbox wants to do that though?
I mean, it would bring them one step closer to taking over the world.
Yeah.
Well,
otherwise
right.
It's going to be
but
Disney.
then if they say they put PlayStation out of business, which wouldn't happen. We're just being theoretical here. But say they put PlayStation out of business,
they would put PlayStation in Nintendo world.
Well, yeah, but then you have this issue. Then they're like, oh, and now Xbox is a monopoly, and they run it. They don't want PlayStation to go away, and I think that's the ultimate reality of it is that both companies want the other to do just well enough to boost their sales.
I would like for them to be on equal standing, not necessarily at war, but Xbox has a wide list of really, really good titles that you can play. Same like PlayStation does. That's all I want. Because as a gamer, from an individual, I want options. I want choices. Guess what? Yeah. Sometimes I have a lot of free time and nothing from the Xbox sounds good, so I'm going to go play PlayStation. It doesn't mean I hate Xbox or I don't like it anymore. But in today's day and age, I want my options. I want choices. I want different experiences that I can go through. So I want both companies to do really, really well and potentially stop fighting and maybe even trade some games. I would love to see Horizon on a fucking Xbox, mainly so I didn't have to buy the PlayStation to play it.
I wouldn't even push for that. I would honestly just push for crossplay.
Yeah.
If they could just stop being dicks to each other and play nice in the sandbox and have crossplay, it'd be great.
Yeah, leave all the extra business shit out of it. To the movie deals, to the, networking, to the big business side. And just let the consoles be consoles for the gamers,
I think what a lot of people would like is your console choice would be equivalent to whether or not you're going to be a Radeon guy or a NVIDIA guy.
What's a Soldier Boy console?
Oh my god, the Soldier Boy console.
Oh, I heard about that.
That was such a disaster.
Yeah, he did. He took another small indie company's console and just made it his or something like that.
Yeah, he put a plastic coating around it saying, "Yeah, this is my console."
It was his, and he released it. And I believe it was without the permission of the small indie company. And they sued him.
Mm-hmm.
What I think what I think Xbox needs to do, if say they wanted to be more competitive with PlayStation, they need to do two things. One of which they've been doing the last year to a couple years. They're buying up studios They're taking that Microsoft money and buying up studios left and right.
Yes.
I mean, and they're doing that, and just like anything else, even though they're buying the studios, you can't expect a turnaround with a new game within that year. You got to give them time to actually development and figure out what their new game's going to be. There's that. I also think that Xbox needs to stop being so much a console and kind of fill that space of what Alienware used to be and become, hey, we're a gaming PC. And stop being a console versus a console. Hey, now you have to choose, do you want a console or do you want a gaming PC Lite? You know what I mean? Like, they could probably do a little bit better in that aspect. In my opinion. They're already integrating everything into PC anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
but it's still gonna be tough to compete with Alienware in that aspect.
Yeah.
Is Alienware even like really competitive anymore?
Yeah, they're owned by Dell.
Yeah, but like, dude, are they like a force to be reckoned with? I think didn't Origin kind of beat the shit out of them and put them, away?
I mean, from what I've read, is they have kind of backed off of the presence that they were. But if you think about it from a financial standpoint, Dell is kind of all about making money. And if they start losing sales because Alienware is not the prime or kind of an afterthought, then they're going to start flooding the market with new Alienware stuff and start pushing that again, which I think they need to. There's a little bit of corporate issues when it comes to a company like Alienware being owned by a megalodon of a business that is Dell controlling the computer company. But
I don't know what all Dell owns anymore.
They own a lot of stuff.
But I don't know. I can't make a statement on that because I would say our pre-built computers going the way of the Dodo? Are most people learning, how to build their own computers if they're gamers? Or or is CyberPower and iBuyPower are all these smaller companies who are now getting more and more? Because I have 2 CyberPower PCs, 2 pre-built that I have for my rig.
Yeah, I will tell you, Alienware, from what I've read, and I've got family who works for Dell Computers, so
So you got the inside scoop.
Inside scoop. Alienware is still a powerhouse, but not as the fully put together laptops and PCs like you've seen, like you just mentioned. It's a lot of small one-off components, like their hard drives or their whatever.
Or this monitor that I have.
Yeah, or the monitors. So they're not, from what I understand, they're not pushing out.
They make that stuff now?
Yeah.
Like, that shows how long it's been since I looked at Alienware because they were always out of my price range. Like, I was like, I'm not spending $4,000 on a fucking laptop. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Oh, no, their shit's still expensive.
Uh-huh.
It's still expensive, but they're pushing individual pieces, I believe. So if you want to assemble your own super expensive gaming computer, you can do it.
I mean, are they good pieces, or are you just paying for the name?
I think they're still good pieces. I don't know because I'm not a PC gamer, but I think they're still very competitive.
I mean that's fair. Like I said, I stopped looking at Alienware stuff and Origin PC stuff just because the stuff is so damn out of my price range. I started going to things like CyberPower and learning how to build my own stuff. So, but that was my curiosity or are these big gaming PC producers, are they really that competitive with each other anymore? Like it used to be Origin and Alienware going at each other's throats, and now they're just kind of, and then the Aces stepped into the ring, and then it was just kind of like, they don't care anymore. They stopped fighting because everybody started buying cyber power and iBuy power for cheaper or building their own rigs. So I don't. I wonder if Microsoft stepped into that ring if, like, realistically, anybody would be able to compete with them.
Not a bad idea.
You know, I mean,
but do they want it?
I don't. Now that I think about it, I retract my statement because all that's going to do is it'll end up killing off companies like CyberPower and iBuyPower, and start making PC gaming what it used to be as this elite thing that only the wealthy can afford. I mean, it's gotten to the point now that PC gaming is, in many ways, more approachable, if not better, than console gaming. You know, and more affordable too in many ways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's way easier to have one PC where you can do all of your work on, all of your everything, and game, versus having a computer, because every house has a computer at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you know, a $500-$600 console, depending on when you buy it, and you know, all the games and everything. It's just, so it's a lot easier.
Yeah, but like a lot of people aren't willing to make that jump because, like we've said a lot of times on the channel here, like, you know, there's a difference between having a plug and play console and a PC that you've got to do updates on, that you control, and hardware updates, drivers, and all the other things that you have to worry about with having a PC. You know, it's a give and take how much you're willing to put into it. That's why I think consoles are still hanging on, because people like that convenience.
Leroy, have you looked up any videos on that? I would think there's plenty of tutorials on specific laptops and shit. Or have you tried taking it apart yet?
Wait, did you already buy the RAM? I know you talked to me about it before.
He already bought it. He just hasn't installed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a good list of everything Dell owns.
Dell owns ConvergeNet, NetSage, Plural, Alienware. Jesus Christ!
Are we saying that Dell is another sleeper for world domination?
I don't know. I think they'd help fund world domination. I don't think they'd be the one to actually take it over.
Okay.
Are these real companies, or are they like shell companies?
They're companies that are behind the scenes that nobody knows about, but they all have the power to take over.
It's like when their powers combined, it's Captain Dell.
So as soon as Disney finds out about this, they're gonna buy Dell, and Disney's gonna win. Disney's gonna win the world.
Compellent alone is worth $960 million. Really?
Yeah, Dell's back owned by Michael Dell. It's not a public company anymore. But one guy owns all of it.
I don't know. Okay, so that poses a question of whether or not we're going to see the rise of the PC more so than ever, and if we do see the rise of the PC, is it going to become outside the price range of the normal person again? Because I remember growing up in the 90s, if you had a gaming PC, or even the early 2000s, if you had a gaming PC, you had money.
You were elite.
Yeah. That's where that whole elites, fucking game and PC master race thing came from, I think. And I know it's like a meme, but like it had held some fucking reality and trueness to it back in the day. Nowadays, like you said, everybody's got a computer, and most everybody who has a computer has gaming capabilities on it.
Plus, with streaming, there's a lot more incentive for people to build a gaming PC because you need one to stream.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, you could do it without it. I know people do without it. Yeah. People in the nerd farm do it without it, but it doesn't change the fact that you're able to produce a much better quality show and have a much better experience as a streamer with a gaming PC, or at least a workhorse PC. So, but yes, so I think we digressed.
We can figure it out.
Yeah, I think we've digressed too far. We could talk more about that. I think maybe the next show, the rise of the gaming PC and where it's going. But back to PlayStation 5 versus Xbox or Sexbox. Xbox, the
Xbox.
sexiest of consoles.
You can't turn Actually, you could turn PlayStation into a sexual innuendo. I take that back.
Could you?
He didn't, but Sexbox.
Yeah.
Play your station.
Play your station.
Play my station.
Play with your station.
I mean, to be fair, have you seen the PlayStation controllers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I swear to God, every time I can't unsee it. You look at them, it looks like a woman wearing a tank top, and those analog sticks are just really in an interesting spot.
You know, maybe Xbox is going for these subtle sexual innuendos because the last console is called the Xbone.
Yeah.
So
there's some perverted little dude in the naming department.
That's a good
point. But yeah, I mean they both have you can sexualize anything from anyone. Like I said, the controllers for the PlayStation just make me feel like I'm playing with some nipples, which maybe that's what they wanted.
Everybody's got their own subtle way of throwing sex into it.
So, all right. So, AD, looking at both of these lists, what would you say the game that you're looking most forward to is?
That's really hard because at least with Demon Souls and Spider-Man and Horizon, I know what to expect and I know that I already love them.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as new stuff, I'm really interested to see what Godfall actually is. Kena Bridge of Spirits looks really interesting and something like new and innovative as far as just the production value of it. So if we're going off of the top titles, if I had to choose one, I would say Spider-Man, as a big Spider-Man fan, and I love the way that the first one was done, and I think the story was well told, and it was a great representation of Spider-Man. So I would like to see where this other one goes.
And the web slinging is awesome.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite things to do in the game. Just kind of swing around the fucking city. All right, HBK, what do you think?
I'd probably say the thing I'm looking forward to most is probably Fable. I was a huge Fable fan, except for Fable 3. That one kind of sucked. I still played it through, but I wasn't a fan. But I loved 1 and 2. Also a big fan of Halo. But, that's kind of known. I know it has a 99% chance of being a very good game. You're going to get to shoot some aliens, blow some shit up, probably, stab some dudes.
You didn't see the gameplay?
No, I missed that. The only thing I've seen is the open world or the world that was created from the engine.
Right.
I didn't see any of the gameplay.
Well, it's funny that you said open world because from what we saw of the gameplay, AD, can you pull up the gameplay for him?
Yeah.
It very much looks like it's going to be an open world experience.
Interesting.
Or at least a semi-open world experience. And
let me put it up.
It very much if you remember the game Mass Effect Andromeda.
Loved all of Mass Effect.
I get this Mass Effect feel from the gameplay that they showed. Huge, with Halo combat. So it was good Halo combat, but the world and how the hub and everything looked with the character interaction and everything, the UI, I got this Mass Effect Andromeda feel. I really did.
Together.
I really did. Hey, AD, you're not showing the whole thing on the...
Am I not?
Sure. Yeah, you're only getting portion of it on this.
Okay.
There you go.
Hold on. Let me watch it on YouTube so it goes full screen.
We were full screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were getting like the top left corner.
Yeah, it's weird how I got just captured things though.
New shield.
Yeah, they're on the big screen.
See, and this is something else that I was kind of disappointed. The graphics on Halo, they don't look like the grass and everything. It doesn't look
it's
nearly.
It should look better.
True.
Yeah,
you're right.
Maybe it's not fully optimized.
You know, or maybe this is just alpha gameplay. I was talking to some people. This could be just alpha gameplay. You know, they don't have the full, or even beta. It's not fully done and polished.
Well, you can't. So pretty. As a person who doesn't even like the game, you can't. I mean,
but see what I mean? Do you not get like a Mass Effect almost open world feel from that?
Well, it's definitely a different way to do business than it's ever been before. That's clear.
It almost feels like Mass Effect meets Far Cry.
Yeah, I'd say so. But it still maintains that really good Halo combat, which is
shooting is the same shooting.
Debatable.
Yeah. Well,
debatable. Yeah. I as much as I'm not a shooter,
it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's you know.
Well, but my thing is killing aliens is different than killing humans. When I play Call of Duty and I load a round or a magazine into a dude's chest and he doesn't die, that's bullshit. Because I know humans and I know they die after that. But an alien, I get complete leeway if I unload a fucking rocket into the dude and he doesn't die. That's fine, because I don't know his biology.
Well, yeah, when I say the gunplay looks the same, I mean it's the same for a Halo game.
That's cool.
Yeah, it does look like the gunplay is still Halo gunplay, but that's something the Halo's always excelled at. Their gunplay, like if you compare Halo to Far Cry, or even Call of Duty, I would say Halo is still
a superior shooter.
Yeah.
And they've got they've got a better story than some of the Call of Duty games. I promise you that.
And like I said, I don't dislike Halo. Like I think Halo looks like a really good game, and I enjoyed all the ones that I played. I don't hate Halo, but I hate what Microsoft is done to it and what the fanboys are doing to it. Like they just overhype it, and you know they think it's like this god among games. And
it is a good game.
Yeah.
I will say this much: I haven't played a Halo game in years. I don't like, and I'm sure I'm going to get everybody saying, "Oh, you don't say." I don't like linear experiences and being on rails. I like my open worlds a lot, and if this is what it looks to be, an open world or at least semi-open world experience, this might be the first Halo that I will be playing in a long time. It's still not going to be
open enough for you.
Yeah.
Well, it was never open enough for me.
Yeah, so you're still going to complain that it's not open enough.
But I think this grapple hook.
It's an interesting addition.
It's very Doom-esque. Grappling hook.
Yes, I didn't even make that. I didn't even make that.
The grapple shotgun. I mean, it's connected to your arm versus the shotgun, but you can still pull enemies to you.
Yeah.
But that does add a whole new component of being able to go other places.
It does. Well, and that's why I said it definitely feels like they're trying to put in an open world-esque thing where
an opener, more open.
Yeah.
Opener.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see something like a Far Cry-esque Halo meets Far Cry meets Mass Effect game.
You think they'll have collectibles and shit?
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Skulls.
Yeah. Oh yeah, skulls were always a thing.
There's going to be collectibles. I'm wondering if they're going to put in like an RPG light system in it.
Like an upgrade system or a level up system type of thing?
Well, maybe not a level up system, but maybe like an upgrade system, like in Doom, where you found different guns or different abilities that you can incorporate into your person.
You got Thanos.
So,
it is, yes.
So
he even gives a very Thanos-like monologue about how this is the last battle. This is my final fight. This will be It's basically saying
Hulk
this
smashed
is
his nose and he grew a goatee. That's Thanos.
Yeah. Well, and this is the point where I think they'll do the upgrade system, because he shows on this that everything is dead. And they own the ring, and they already won the fight in the ring. So I'm wondering, as you progress in the story, if you'll find a down ship, or where there's some technology for the Spartan suit that you're able to incorporate into your suit then, and you'll get that upgrade like a jetpack, or
will it be like a memory loss thing like Assassin's Creed, or the more time you spend in game doing different things. Oh, hey, all of a sudden I remember how to do this.
Yeah, I mean, something along those lines. I think they're going to do they're going to try to do an open world RPG light-esque thing.
Like the classic Metroid thing where Samus lose all her powers in the beginning of the game and has to get them back and shit.
Something. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, how long? I don't know Halo lore that much, but how long is he supposed to be floating around out there?
That's kind of where it ended. I don't know. It wasn't a short time though. It was a while.
So I mean, in theory, maybe you find out that they did a new Spartan program, and now you can upgrade your suit or something.
Give me the ability to change my suit color. That's what I want.
No. You always have to be the Master Chief colors.
I want to be a yellow.
So after seeing that, are you still sticking with your Fable as your most anticipated?
I am. Just because, I mean...
Yeah, because it's like he said before, Halo is what you would expect.
I mean, it's what... As long as there's Halo combat, I know it's going to be good. If it's going to be this semi-open world, well then yes, it makes me look forward to it, more. But I'm kind of looking forward to Fable because, I mean, I've played Halo through all the way, maybe 2 or 3 times. But I can't tell you how many times I've played Fable through over and over. Just the amount of decisions there were, the different quests, all kinds of shit you could do. And just, the quirkiness of the game. Mm-hmm. It was fun. It was enjoyable. And it was long. You got a really good value for your game. It was 40, 50, 60 hours, depending on how much you did. And I was always a big fan, so I'm really hoping they don't fuck us.
Yeah, that's always the concern. Oh god, Mr. Slowcake's already going at you with Gothic.
Okay,
don't do it.
He's not a PC gamer. He can't play Gothic.
Yeah, don't do it. It's a good game, but I have been frustrated with that game recently.
But I'm also looking for Horizon Forbidden West. Like I said, Horizon Zero Dawn was the one game that I nearly bought a PlayStation just to play. I think that game is phenomenal. Hands down, probably one of the best games ever made. And I'm excited for that one to come out, see where it goes, see what it does.
As a huge fan of the Horizon universe, and I'm actually going to be making content for it this weekend. But I love Horizon. I love the feel. I love the characters. I had feels in just the very first part of Horizon Zero Dawn when she loses her father figure, and it was sad.
Yeah.
But I really am excited for that myself also. But it's not my most anticipated.
It's a good story that, yes, it borrows a lot from, not much of it is new in the grand scheme of things, but the way they put it together, the way they sew it all together and tie it all off, it's a fantastic storyline in a game.
It is. Well, don't spoil anything. I still have to finish it.
Yeah, so Nerdy, can I guess either I don't know, Stalker or State of Decay for you?
Surprisingly, no.
Okay, maybe Warhammer.
Or Warhammer? Nope, neither one of those. Avowed. I'm really looking forward to those 3, but they're not my most anticipated.
Avowed.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, and here's my reasoning. It's not just because it's hopefully we don't know anything about it honestly, but I do know a few things that get me excited. One, it's made by Obsidian, And Obsidian Games have a wonderful track record of making, great open world, fun, deep experiences with great characters and good humor. I also know that it takes place in an already created universe that I love, in which the Pillars of Eternity takes place in. I think that the world was called Io or something like that. So it's taking place in that world. So I know they have good lore to fall back onto because they've done 2 games on it. They have already, know what the world's like and how the cultures and different aspects of it are going to be. And I love the idea that it's going to be a first person in that world where all the spells and abilities I've played with in the previous games, I'm finally going to do in first person and not have to worry about managing multiple people. It's just going to be my character. So everything that they've showed and I know that they can do gets me excited. That's my most anticipated right there.
Now I think about it, the way the brief little bit of magic that we saw in that trailer is kind of reminiscent of Ghostwire. So
yeah, so
cool.
that's my most anticipated. Just for fun, AD, what do you think was the biggest flop of a showing for either one of the shows? Like which game were you like, what the fuck is this? Moments.
Well, those are in the whatever categories. So
okay, which one's the worst whatevers?
So for me, it would probably I don't know. I would say Bugsnax for PlayStation. Because Volcano High has obviously got its own fan base with the furries and shit, and I'm not trying to insult furries or anything, but it's its own
That's
thing.
Fair.
So,
really, that one? That was the one I didn't think you would say. I thought you'd be going after Dusk Falls.
Bugsnax? No, that was for PlayStation.
Oh no, I know. I'm talking overall in both groups.
Oh, overall?
Yeah,
Bugsnax is still weirder. Like because like you mentioned, I would probably play as Dusk Falls just for the entertainment value because it would be fun to stream and shit on. There's no way I'm playing Bugsnax. There's no way.
I honestly have to agree with you, and I'll let you give your answer here in just a second, HBK. But I'm gonna agree with AD on this one, because
have
just
you
seen
Bugsnax? I have not seen.
Go ahead, go pull that up for him. But just the trailer for that game made me feel uncomfortable. I felt weird. It was such a. I have felt very uncomfortable watching that trailer. It was.
Oh.
Oops. There's a case that could be said for David Cage games too. Well, yeah, that's why I play David Cage games. I played a few of them on stream already. Or had Tara play.
What?
No, it gets weirder.
I love it. It's like, no, it gets...
No, at first, this could be considered something kind of cutesy, but then just wait.
But wait, there's more!
And it's tasty too. Welcome to the island of Bugsnax.
Kind of bug and kind of snack. Try to catch it in your trap. Feed somebody and you'll see we are whatever we eat. Find them hiding in the sand, tearing up.
So you basically turn into what you eat.
I love his face. He's just so...
What I want to know is...
What drugs were they on?
I don't know. What I want to know now, though, is... Everything is, like, alive. Like, all the food is alive. Does that mean, like...
My invitation
everything is game as far as what you can eat? Like, can you even eat other
people?
creatures
I think so, because there were...
I was trying to carry a lamp with my weenie hands, but I dropped it, and now the town's on fire.
Oh, again?
There you go.
I mean, there were skeletons, but
That is
that creepy, weird lady singing Bug Snacks in the background is also very weird.
like it sounds like a freaking like Saturday morning cartoon that you would watch, or
It
that
sounds
your
like a
toddler would
commercial
watch.
you would see during.
Wait, keep going, Mr. Soki. But wait, there's more at the end.
Oh shit. Hold on. Oh, so that thing just went up and ate all of those things, and PlayStation console exclusive, there's their winner.
Yeah,
That's their winner.
That's where they're spending all the money.
Yeah, that whole trailer makes me uncomfortable.
I can't believe they saw that, and
I'm gonna go ahead and say that's the one.
I can't
Bug
believe
Snack.
PlayStation saw this game and it was like, we gotta lock that in as an exclusive. There's no way we're sharing that with anyone else.
I am fully in support of their decision and not sharing that with anybody.
I am of the opinion that PlayStation should have paid the money not to make that game. We're gonna make it a no one exclusive. We're gonna give you money to not put it on a PlayStation.
You mean like that game Gamer Girl that's coming out?
Oh, maybe that's their
about that.
Yeah, maybe that's their plan. They locked it up as an exclusive, but they're not planning to actually release it.
I don't know. Bug Snacks is like Mr. Soul says. It's a special kind of horror. It really is. I could not play that game. It would just no.
But it's too weird for like. It looks like a kid's game.
Yeah.
But it's too weird for kids to play.
Yep.
But it's more weird than most adults will play. That is an odd choice.
Yeah. But
It's
that's
an odd route to go.
That's definitely the biggest flop for both of them for me. No. That's awful.
Well, I mean, at least with the other ones, Tetris, it's simple. People love Tetris, but it is what it is, and
Crossfire, as generic as it is, it's people like shooters, so
yeah. Dust Falls.
Some people are into graphic novels.
Yeah, and Everwild. I mean, eventually it'll figure out what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think they showed Everwild too soon. I think what they did is they said, "Hey, give us a presentation which you think you might want to make the game be," and they said that. I mean, because to be fair, the video is fucking cool.
Yeah, it looks good.
It was fucking cool. And they probably said, you know what, this is so cool. Yeah, we're going to show that. We want you guys to make that game. So, I don't know. But it was cool. Mr. Soul Creek says, Bugsnax, he thinks it could really be a body horror game. I don't want to
weird.
I don't want to find out what kind of game it is.
No, it fucking creeps me out. All right. So we said what we think our best in show is, and we've said what our worst in show is. All right. So new IPs. What's the one you most look forward to? I think you already said that yours was Godfall anyway, right?
Yeah, it's either Godfall or Kena.
Okay. Godfall did look good.
Yeah, and then well, go ahead.
I have to admit, I think Godfall's my most looked forward to new IP.
Yeah.
The medium's up there though for me too. The medium looks really cool.
Yeah, Xbox is kind of weak on the new stuff.
Yeah.
The medium.
I mean, they have I guess Avowed is Avowed considered a new IP?
Well, I had it under new IP before
but
we
decided. Demanded that it was moved.
I demanded. Well, to be fair though, I don't think it'd even be a new IP because it takes place in the Pillars of Eternity universe.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Well, then Xbox is way weaker on new IPs then. Because Tell Me Why is very specific fan or genre. The Medium is probably the only thing that would have a more mass appeal. Grounded is a very specific genre. The Gunk is weird. Balan Wonderland is weird.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. But I think Godfall's going to be. Solar Ash is a new IP.
Well, I was considering that, but they said it was in the same universe as Hyper Light Drifter, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Either way, it just makes PlayStation even stronger. So
yeah, either way, I think as far as new IPs, PlayStation once again brings the fucking money, and to be fair, Godfall. Every time I see it, it really seems like something's up my alley. It's a looter shooter only with
guns.
fantasy.
I mean, with
swords.
Swords.
Yeah,
who doesn't
swords
love
and
a
magic.
good fucking hack and slash?
Yeah. I mean,
magic game.
That really can't get any more up my alley because I love my loots. Unless they made it open world, super realistic. You know.
So here's the real question: Gran Turismo or Forza?
I thought we've already established that Need for Speed's better.
No, it's not. Need for Speed is not an exclusive. So it automatically wins overall. But
okay.
Well, actually, that's not true. Nothing beats Fast and Furious.
I mean, when you're living your life a quarter mile at a time, what really beats you?
Okay, but Gran Turismo or Forza?
Forza?
Okay.
Maybe? Only because that's the one I played?
Oh.
Once or
So
twice?
you have no reason. It's just because you've played one and not the other.
Yeah.
Both are shit. So, Creek, you don't like anything.
Except Gothic.
Except Gothic.
Gothic. He loves Gothic. Yeah, I don't really have.
Yeah, I haven't really touched racers in a long time, but
I think they're pretty much they're very, very similar.
I just like the concept of Gran Turismo more because it's like, actual normal-ish cars versus like Forza where it's just it's just race cars like
I thought Forza was the one with the normal-ish cars.
No,
I thought Gran Turismo was the one with like the actual like race cars with like the big spoiler and it's like a cockpit thing.
That's completely opposite.
Oh, well then Gran Turismo for me.
Okay.
I remember, like, all I know is like the one that has not the race cars. I think I like that.
Yeah.
That's just whatever. Okay. I guess we'll do each section. Series though. What series game are you most excited for? And we'll split this one because it's hard to choose. We'll say best one in PlayStation, best one in Xbox.
Yeah, let's see. Probably Resident Evil for PlayStation. The series category isn't really that strong for me. I mean, I do like Hitman. I haven't played a lot of Hitman, but it's a fun game. But I think Resident Evil, just based off of the trailer, it looks the most interesting just because it looks so different. So I'm interested.
Okay.
Xbox Series, I don't really have, I don't know a lot about Stalker. I've never played State of Decay. I don't know anything about Warhammer. The only thing, the one that I would play is Stalker. So I guess for that, I would just say Stalker.
Okay. HBK?
PlayStation, I would probably say Hitman 3. Looking forward to seeing the conclusion,
oh my God.
I guess, of the story.
God, guys, come on.
What?
Now, Leroy.
And for the Xbox, I'm kind of looking forward to Warhammer. I'm not gonna lie. I liked Stalker 1 and State of Decay, but Warhammer, even though I wasn't as invested in all of the previous Warhammer games, I played a couple and they were fucking dynamite.
Are you a tabletopper? Do you play tabletop 40K?
No.
Okay, I'm just curious.
No, I know what it is. I've played a couple of times years ago with friends, but no, I don't.
Do you read the novels and follow the lore?
I've read some of them, but it was really difficult to get into because there is just so fucking much. Like, you can go to Barnes and Noble and there's an entire row of just One type of lore, not even like that's everything. That's just,
I know.
Hey, these are the accounts of this one fucking troop or battalion. There's so fucking much to get involved in. But I have played, I think, 2 of the games, and they were fucking dynamite shooters. So I'd probably pick Warhammer 40K.
Okay.
I saw the preview. I saw the trailer for it, and it looked. I mean, it didn't show any actual gameplay footage, but what they're revolving the trailer around looked like it would probably be a really good first-person shooter.
Have you played Warhammer Vermintide?
I think I did. When did that come out? A couple years ago.
Yeah, it's Vermintide, then Vermintide 2. So yeah, it's been out for a minute.
I think that's the one I played. It was just a really, really good.
Yeah, it's Left 4 Dead style games.
Yeah.
You know. Hey nerdy, can you tell me where orcs came from? Oh, in the 40K universe? Well, sit down, boys and girls. I can tell you the story about the orcs.
Let's not get into 40K lore. It's too much.
But Libra was asking.
We don't have 6 hours.
All right, fine, fair enough.
Nerdy, what were your series picks?
All right, so I'm with AD on Resident Evil, not because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. We've had that discussion. But because this was the first one in a while that seems interesting to me.
Yeah.
I like classic horror with, like, you know, and even new age horror, you know, with werewolves and vampires. I love stuff like Vampire the Masquerade and Werewolf and all that stuff. So the fact that they showed werewolves and vampires and witches and stuff in it really kind of gets me excited, because then it's something that it's really more up my alley.
This is the first Resident Evil where I would have to question the Japanese title of Biohazard.
Because,
yeah,
because it seems more classical, but like classical fantastic horror.
Yeah,
and that's more up my alley, and I really am hoping that's what it does, and I'm looking forward to it. As far as the Xbox Series, that's going to be hard for me.
Yeah, because I know those top 3 are really big for you.
Yes, they're both. All 3 of them are huge for me. Stalker. If you've never played the original Stalker AD, you should try it out. It's a great game. It really is unique in of itself, and it's a buggy mess. It's still kind of a buggy mess. The community has had to fix it up a little bit, but it's an older game, but it's really, really good.
Play Stalker finally redoing it.
I would. It's a very big possibility. But when I play Stalker on Steam, I'm going to do it closer to Stalker 2 release. So be prepared for that. State of Decay. I love first State of Decay. I love the second State of Decay, which is a huge unpopular opinion for most people, because the State of Decay 2 had some serious issues. But I loved it. I loved the concept and how it works. And of course, Warhammer 40K. I love everything Warhammer 40K. So if I had to, knowing what I think Warhammer 40K is, it's going to be a Vermintide-esque game, Left 4 Dead, maybe with some partial customization. I'm not the hugest fan of hub-based, mission-based games. I like that open world-esque feel, so I think that takes it down a notch. And if I had to choose between whether I like State of Decay or Stalker more, State of Decay might inch out just a little bit more, but it's close. It's really close. Maybe Stalker. It's neck and neck. So it's one of those 2, I think.
Okay, so if I had to play Stalker, which Stalker am I playing? Galaxy Rebel is the first one, right?
Yeah. You'd have to start at the beginning, because they all kind of interconnect.
I have to play all 3 of them?
Yeah. I would say they all interconnect, and they're I don't know. What do you think, Mr. Soul Creek? You're a Stalker fan along, or you know Stalker with me. What would be... I really think that he needs to start, but if I remember correctly, one of them actually chronologically happened before another one, but I don't remember. It's been a hot minute. Stalker games chronologically. Let's do that.
Yeah, I figure I just play them in the order of release. That makes sense.
Yeah, but that's not always the right way you should do it.
Oh, so it's like the Marvel movies.
So yeah, sometimes I don't remember if they did that or not. Mr. Soul Creek, what you got? I was not looking.
Stalker's
DayZ on crack with story. It is. It really is. It's crazy.
I like story.
No, I think you're safe to start with the first one and then move through it. So, but yet, Stalker's great.
All right, nerdy. If aside from Everwild, because we don't know what it is, it could be a hit or a miss. If you had to stream something from the whatever category, what would it be?
Don't say Bugsnax.
No, I would not. What was that Crossfire thing?
It was just some weird shooter. Well,
Crossfire.
not weird, but generic as hell.
Crossfire.
Okay, fine.
Straight up Crossfire. Because the Goodbye Volcano High, I wouldn't be able to stream that because I wouldn't be able to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, you would be
without saying something offensive and getting banned from the platform.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just leave that one alone. Bugsnax just it makes me feel uncomfortable. As Dusk Falls, I can't stand those types of games to begin with. And Tetris, I suck at Tetris, so it would have to be Crossfire.
It would be As Dusk Falls for me, but I feel like I would get bored. So I would stream it. I don't know if I would finish it.
That's a hard question. Goodness. It's like, here, which piece of shit do you want to put in your mouth? I won't put any in my mouth. Well, you have to. So, man. But yeah, I think overall, talking about these guys for the last almost, hour and a half? PlayStation 1, it had the superior presentation than Xbox.
PlayStation 1, the hype.
Yeah, but Xbox, I think, is playing some really smart moves behind the scenes to really win the ultimate battle. Best way I could put it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. What's yours? Your closing thoughts on this topic, and then we got one or two small topics to close out the show.
I think we've talked about what we needed to. You know, I've already said PlayStation won this, so no more to say on it. But you know, it's like you said, Xbox might win the big game.
Win the war.
The war. Not the console war, but the overall market war.
Mm-hmm. HBK, your thoughts?
Why can't everyone just get along?
Yeah, man. Why can't gamers just win? We're the real people that
like. I want to play Horizon and I want to play Halo, but I don't want the two companies to fight about it. I don't want shit to get jammed down my throat, even by the culture too. It's like, oh, you play PlayStation? Well, fuck you. Xbox is better. Oh, you know that.
Why can't we just
that bullshit? Like, hey, I don't play PlayStation, but if I buy one, what games do you recommend? Like, let's build on top of that and let's create experiences that everyone can kind of fucking get behind. Because, I mean, realistically, that's why everyone plays video games, because it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's a different experience other than, you know, the four walls and your house.
But, of course, PC gamers will never accept console players into their world.
Yeah, because they're the master race.
Well, there will be shit tons more of us if all the consoles get together.
Let's just fuse together PlayStation and Xbox and create the Play Sex box.
The Play Sex box?
The Play with your sex box.
or would it be the Sex Station?
Sex Play.
Sex
Play box.
No, you see, you're both right. It's just different generations of the gaming console.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Well, I think we've beaten this dead horse a little bit. So our next topic is going to hit more home for, I think, the three of us, because all three of us are veterans. military recruitment on Twitch. Do you guys want a shiny new controller? You guys want a shiny new controller? Click on this link. You just have to fill out your army recruitment form first.
Hey, what exactly was the controller that they were presenting?
I
Was
don't
it anything
even know.
special? Was it like a freaking scuff controller or something? Or was it just a freaking $60 basic controller?
So, was the real question the form they had to fill out? That was just their information to be contacted by a recruiter, correct?
I think so, yes.
Because that's the same shit kids fill out at high schools all the time.
Yeah, but at least when the recruiter talks to you at the high school, you know what
you're getting into.
Yeah, like when you're at a
point.
channel to watch, somebody play a game, they're like, "Hey, do you want to win this really cool, super cool controller?" And you're like, "Sure, okay." You just fill out this form here. What is this form? Don't worry about it. You want the controller, right? You want to try a controller? Yeah, fill out the form. If you got 17-year-old kids, they're like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I'm trying to find out what the image of it was.
I mean,
why would the army want to recruit people who are so weak that they just easily buy into bullshit?
Because ultimately the army wants a bunch of, mindless drones a lot of times. I mean, we all have our problems, You snack on fucking crayons every so often. It's okay.
But, I mean...
Have you ever had a crayon?
They're delightful.
There it goes. What's your favorite flavor?
Red.
Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, it's shady. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is shady. There's a lot about the military that is shady.
Yeah.
Let's just be upfront about that. Everyone who's in the military knows it gets real shady real quick. But on the other hand, it's a bold strategy. It is. I mean, kudos to who was using their brain.
It was. I mean, it was innovative. Because who else uses Twitch?
I mean, they're trying to recruit video gamers for all I can think of as drones.
Well, and that's another thing. Like they're trying to stop Representative Ocasio-Cortez. If you guys are unfamiliar, she's a representative in the U.S. For New York.
New York.
Well, I'm letting our people, because we got people viewing from other countries. She's very liberal. She has some very liberal, some would say eccentric liberal ideas.
She's a treat.
But she's trying to push a bill that makes it illegal for the U.S. Army to recruit on Twitch. And I was thinking about that. I was like, on one hand, I feel very strongly about that's probably a good thing, because I feel, knowing what I know about Twitch viewers and being one myself, that there are individuals out there who are socially awkward, who use Twitch as their interaction with people because they feel more comfortable with that buffer between themselves. And Twitch is, it's nerds, and some nerds we have social awkwardnesses that we have issues dealing with. And it's kind of predatory, kind of like, the cam girls we've talked about who prey upon, young boys and stuff like that. Now, on the other hand, if you want to get the best goddamn drone pilots on the face of the planet, you're going to have to come to the nerds and the gamers. I mean, that's just kind of the reality of it. So I can see both sides of the story. So
it makes sense. Cause you should only join the army if you want to join the army, but that's not how the military sees it. They'll take anybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to realize too, cause for a long time here in the U.S., there were judges who'd be like, "Hey, look, you fucked up. You can either go to jail or join the military. Those are your two choices." And hell, we have cadences in the army about it. Like, that was a real thing for a long time. So
yeah, that only stopped like 15, 20 years ago. Well, yeah, no, maybe 25 years ago.
I think the 90s.
Right before, yeah, like mid 90s. Because I still had I think I had a sergeant major or something who, that's how he got in. Like 28, 29 years ago was, you could either go to jail or you could go to the Marine Corps.
They're trying to get people to think that being in the Army is going to be them on Twitch, like the streamer. Well, let's be fair. The military in general, not just the Army. I mean, the Army's just the one who
every
got
military recruitment commercial is a fucking lie.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
It's never as badass as it looks.
No, because you'll see this thing of people. It's like perfect example. When I was going to enlist in the military, my recruiter tried to sell me on the job. That was, what was it? It was like Special Forces. It was a Special Forces Equipment Maintenance Officer or whatever, and it was like, yeah, you're gonna be, helping design and put together all the cool things to use in Spec Ops and everything. And my recruiter was like telling me all this stuff, so showed me this badass video, and I'm like, wow. My father went with me to my recruiter. He was my father was a 5-year veteran of being a recruiter. He was a Gold Star recruiter. He knew the game. He looked at that video, looked at what the recruiter was pushing, and he looked at me and said, you know what's going to happen? They're going to put you in a Connex. You're not going to ever see the entire thing. You're going to get a piece of something that's a piece of something, and you're going to fix that. You're never going to be able to talk about what you fixed, and never not really going to know what you're fixing it for. And I looked at the computer, the recruiter, and his jaw is just like hanging off his face. He's just like, and I'm like, is that true? And he's like, and my father looked at me, he's like, don't bullshit him. And he's like, yeah, that's true. So it's all a lie.
Yeah, mean, any, like AD said, any video commercial you watch, I mean, look at the Navy. The Navy always has Navy SEALs in their commercial. Why? Because they're fucking badass and they earned it. But guess what? That makes up, I don't know, 0.00001% of the Navy, but they are the main guys in every commercial. They're always on the beach and then their footprints disappear, or they're like jumping out of a fucking boat or out of a helicopter, airplane. It's always focused on them, but the realistic chances that 99% of the people who join the Navy are never, ever, ever going to even be remotely near a SEAL, much less attached or make it to the SEALs. But that's their main one. The Marine Corps, I mean, ours, I want to say, is a little bit different because we all have somewhat of the rifle training, but you're either infantry or you're not if you're in the Marine Corps. That's the way it buffed down. And I was not. Let me get that straight right now. I wasn't, but those dudes are badass. But not as badass as the commercials show you. I mean, they don't show you what it's really like. They hype it up. They make it into a fucking really cool movie video game trailer. The Air Force, they show you some cool shit and planes. But if you want to fly a plane, join the Navy. No one ever told you that shit.
Yeah. But to be fair, and I'll agree that the Twitch telling them that they can't run a fake controller giveaway thing on their channel is absolutely 100% the right thing to do. Like, don't. There's one thing to embellish what it's going to be like in the military. There's another thing to straight up run a fucking con scheme. Like, there's a difference.
I would say that should be it across the board, not just with the military, but Twitch should say, hey, no lying or none of this bullshit. And the military shouldn't have straight out lied. Should have been like, hey, fill this form out. Yes, it's for the Army. Get this controller.
Yeah.
Shit, tons of people would still have done it. It's a $60 controller. Are you kidding me?
And then they would have blocked the recruiter number calling them 5 minutes later. It's that simple.
But recruiters they give a shit about like contacts and, we did this promotion and we got all these little clicks. We had so much interest on our videos and whatever.
But I don't think that banning the military from recruiting on Twitch entirely is the answer either. I mean, we've had it's not like having, like you guys have said, it's not like having a army recruitment video playing during a commercial while watching a TV show is anything new to us.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've seen it. We know it's there. It's them advertising for their company in the same way that, you know, any other company advertises for their, you know, their company.
Well, I think it establishes a bad precedence. Once you ban something from somewhere, it is way easier to start banning it from other places. You may start on Twitch, and then it's, oh, hey, these TV channels are no longer, you know, posting recruiting whatever. Oh, these newspapers aren't doing it. These magazines aren't doing it. And then slowly but surely, it's a very mainstream thing that you're not going to advertise or, you know, help with military recruitment. And I think that's a dangerous precedence to set. Should it be corrected? Yes, but removal completely? No, that starts down a very slippery slope.
Oh, and it's always the military. The military is always advertised in the most how do I put it? The communication avenue of the times. You know, when recruiters were advertising back in, you know, the 40s and 50s, what did they do? They made or I would say the 20s. They made posters. When the 40s and 50s, they made radio commercials, and you know, in the 90s, 80s, and 90s, they did TV commercials.
Yeah,
you know, it's just a natural evolution of their recruiting to move to, you know, the communication avenue of the time. You know, online streaming. You know, YouTube and Twitch. But I do think you're right. I think that we shouldn't cancel it, but we should monitor it and moderate it and say, hey, look, you want to advertise here, then you can't lie. You can't. You can embellish if you want to, but you're not going to con people into signing paperwork and tell them they're going to get something free. That's not cool.
Yeah, and when they fuck up, because inevitably they will, put them on blast. Light them up. Light a fire under them. Because if the military is anything, they hate bad press.
Oh God, yeah,
hate
they
it.
do.
They hate good press. They like to just be forgotten about.
Fucking
they like
army
to operate in the
army will
background.
throw every person they can under the bus to get them to not have bad press.
Right. So
in
just
a second,
light them on fire, rip them up. But
I mean,
canceling them completely, removing them, blocking them, sets a very dangerous precedent that could slowly over time and move to other things too. I mean, it's not just the Army, it's the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps.
I mean, to be fair, it could be any organization. You know, what's that stop them from saying, hey, look, the Army can't, you know, advertise on Twitch. Well, now the NFL can't advertise on Twitch, you know, and now, you know, whatever else you could think of, any organization, any company, now they can't advertise on Twitch because that's glorifying what it, you know, or embellishing what it really isn't.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I mean, like I don't think canceling, but moderating is.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, we all know that Twitch tends to overreact all the time when it comes to banning people instantly.
Yeah.
Or not banning people when they should. They're like super inconsistent when it comes to.
Well, Nerdy, there was one difference. The Army is a government-paid division. I'm going to tell you what I was always told by my NCOs and people above me. The Army or the Navy or the Marines or the military in general is no different from any other corporation. It's just one big corporation where they have a product that they produce, which is soldiers, and those soldiers go out and they are a tool that, you know, the governments use, no different than a company that produces jets or firearms, and they're a tool that the government procures and sends out and uses. There's no difference. You know, the Army, you know, which is, sorry for being bitter, but I'm very anti-Army, and that's fine. You can be anti-Army. Nothing wrong with it. If you don't think that the military is a good path for you or your friends or somebody else, that's fine. And I'll be the first to tell you, and I'm sure both these guys will be the first to tell you, the military is not for everybody.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for everybody.
No, it's not for everybody because you're 100% right. we are treated kind of like tools.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just enough to keep your shit together, place to stay, place to keep your shit.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you're really just a name in a box.
I mean, the ultimate show of that isn't when you die in the army, like in combat or something. It's the quartermasters who handle your body. The quartermaster corps is the one who does all the stuff. That the coroner people and everything, they don't get it till after the quartermasters check off whether or not that tool's been broken and is being sent back.
Yeah.
So that's the ultimate show of that, in my opinion.
So, do you? I'll tell you right now, you don't have to feel like that. As far as your uncle goes, if someone's an asshole, they're an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you right now, automatically, all because you sign up to join the military, that doesn't automatically make you a hero or a great person. I've met plenty of pieces of shit. Okay.
Oh yeah.
You don't. Like, signing a contract doesn't automatically make you a good person.
It's not exclusive.
Being a veteran doesn't put you on a pedestal, although some people try to do it, and you're not wrong, Cosmos. That happens a lot. Being in the service or being a veteran does not put you on a pedestal and make you untouchable from being called an asshole or an idiot or a dumb fuck or a moron or whatever else.
No, I would actually be on the verge to count that as the opposite. A veteran I would call an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
because they've probably been burned multiple times.
Yeah, I'm an asshole. I'll admit it.
Yeah, a lot of veterans are assholes. Some of them have reasons. Some of them are just
assholes.
Yeah, they're just cocky assholes.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them joined the military because they were assholes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like I said. I think it's just the military going with the ultimate movement of the preferred medium of communication. And banning them isn't good. Moderating them is the best path.
Twitch doesn't moderate.
But
they have no moderation.
It's AOC who brought it up. And as you kind of described her earlier, it's not very surprising that she would come around with this idea after some of the things she's...
Yeah, the question is, and I don't want to turn this into an AOC bash session because, I mean...
We don't have the time.
Yeah.
It would be like a Warhammer discussion.
It would be. But, I mean, God, you got me all just stuck on AOC bashing, and I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, let's talk about that. No, I don't know. My biggest concern, I think, is that Twitch has shown itself to be a very left-leaning corporation, i.e. Amazon also. Jeff Bezos, this is not exactly, the Republican of the year.
Most social media is.
Yeah.
So are they going to allow this? Or are they going to just go ahead and start banning any recruitment stuff on social media? Because I think that would be very much the wrong answer. So it's interesting, to say the least.
I'm interested to hearing the arguments from both sides of the aisle on it. Because Cause is right. You got to think about the words that someone suggested, not the person who suggested them first. You take the idea on the merit, not the person. And I think the idea of the bill, it's a good point. It is. There does need to be a check for something like this, but guess what? That's lying. The U.S. Army lied to these people.
Yep. And if anything, these recruiters, and I haven't read anything if there is anything, but there needs to be disciplinary action for these recruiters because they're not supposed. I mean, if there's a difference between a recruiter embellishing and a recruiter just straight up conning people. And that's what these recruiters do. They con. It's one thing if they were to run a streaming program and try to connect with young men and women and be like, hey, look, these are your options in the army in the atmosphere of playing video games and everything and doing stuff like that. That's fine. I'm cool with that. Military's done that for years. Run little events where people could come to and they try to convince them to be in the military. Conning somebody is an entirely different story and of itself, and the recruiters involved with this situation
Right.
should be punished. Period.
Right. I agree. And to that extent, I think the bill in its original stages, I'm sure when she was putting it together or when it was getting put together, that was at the forefront, which I believe is the issue.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to get conned. In the civilian world, you go to jail for that shit.
Yep.
In the military world, I don't know what that looks like. You know, do these guys go to the brig? Do they get punished? Are they immediately pulled off recruiting duty? I'm not sure. But something needs to happen on that aspect. But do we really need a bill before Congress about where, like, social media at all? Like, do we need a bill concerning social fucking media to Congress?
No.
I mean, personally, that goes a lot of ways to Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, like all kinds of shit. But I think it's excessive.
Well, I think making a congressional law is excessive, because here's the thing: they already got rid of the oh god, what was it? The internet a couple years ago. What's his face?
Oh, the
basically put it under the FCC. Put the
right
under the FCC.
privacy,
So
the
neutrality, net neutrality.
yeah, net neutrality. There it is.
Yeah, they got rid of net neutrality and they put it under the FCC. So I don't think we need a separate law per se. I think we need the FCC to do their job because there's already FCC regulations that states that you can't do things like that.
Right.
So it's just have the FCC, if they're going to be in charge of these types of platforms,
have them be in charge.
Yeah. Do their thing. I don't think they should be. I think net neutrality needs to come back, but that's an entirely different story. We're in this situation. They're supposed to be doing it, and they're not doing it. Make them do it. It's too easy. To answer your question, Cosmos, how would I feel if they did recruitments into or put recruiters into schools for kids between ages 6 to 12? I wouldn't be okay with it, but you compared that to Twitch, and in order to be on Twitch, you're supposed to have, in order to be a person who can actually chat in Twitch and do stuff, you're supposed to be at least the age of 13. And by the age of 13, I had recruiters who were showing me what it could be like to be in the military. By age of 13, you can get into what's called JROTC. Junior, what is it? JROTC. Junior. What's ROTC stand for? I'm having a brain fart.
I don't know.
I was in it, but
I don't think I ever thought about what it's.
I was in it at the age of 13. Yeah, but Nerdy, how many do you think are 13? I know it's 3, but it's 13. But are they actually 13 though? I get what you're saying, but if you go into a bar and the rule is that you aren't allowed to be in the bar till 21, but and I know that people out there with fake IDs and everything. Should the person who's advertising a new liquor be punished because we know they're supposed to be 21 here, but that people know that people use fake IDs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't punish someone for doing something in a place where that's the age they're supposed to be, and then not recognize that they're supposed to be that age there.
What is it over there, Soul Creek? Is it 18?
Is it 18? I thought it was 13. I thought it was 13 here in the U.S., isn't it? Maybe I was wrong.
No, I think we're talking about drinking.
Oh.
For Twitch, it is 13. 16 for beer.
Okay, yeah. 16 for beer, 18 for everything else in Germany. I remember that.
For soft drinks.
Yeah. But anyway, like that's my thought process on it, Cosmos. It's not the recruiter's fault nor Twitch's fault that people are on their platform when they're not supposed to be of the age to be on that platform. I think that's the big thing, and that could be led into all the different things that are going on in content creation right now to begin with, considering the fact they have that big bill that passed earlier this year for the child protection stuff, where you have to mark your stuff on YouTube, whether it's child friendly or not, and if you mark it as child friendly and then somebody deems it not child friendly, they can destroy your channel. And even though you could deem it not child friendly, it's just a mess, you know. So that's my answer to your question. You can't really blame them for people not being of the age that they're supposed to be then. AD, get us to another topic.
Another topic. I don't know. I think we're out.
You said you had another one.
I mean,
we're at 2 hours. We're good.
Are we good? I can't think of anything. Metacritic changed their stuff. Did we talk about that last week, though?
Their rules for like rating a game or some shit.
Yeah, you have to wait a predisposed amount of time.
Yeah, we talked about
that. Did we talk about that last week?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then I honestly, chat, you guys have anything else you guys want to talk about before we get ready to roll out? And I look at what games are coming out in the next week to give you guys your
36 hours. Pause says 30. You gotta wait 36 hours to review it.
Yeah, there he is. Here, let me figure out what games are releasing the next week. I know one game releasing next week that I will be playing. Destroy All Humans comes out on the 28th. I'm super excited for that.
Oh, Fairy Tail comes out on Friday. I forgot.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I want to. Are you playing that?
Yeah.
I want to see that before I actually decide to play it. So I will be checking you out playing that. Gesundheit, or bless you, or whatever.
DS3 later.
Tells you.
Yeah, we can do DS3. Where's Leroy? Is he still here?
Let's see, I'm trying to find out what our game releases are. So we have. Yeah, why can't I find my normal page to go to? There it is. I think that's it. So we have in the next week coming out. We have Destroy All Humans on the 28th. Let's see, today's the 25th. 26th, 27th, 30th, basically. Samurai Showdown, Pistol Whip, Other Side. Grounded, if you guys are interested in that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game that they showed at the Xbox conference, that comes out next week. And you said Fairy Tail comes out on Friday also, right?
Yeah, 31st.
Ooh, Yakuza Kiwami? Coming out?
Yakuza?
Yeah. Yakuza Kiwami 2 comes out on Xbox One on the 30th.
Really? I wasn't even following that.
There's actually quite a few games coming out this week, so some interesting stuff. But the big ones that I think both me and AD and I are probably going to cover is you're going to cover Fairy Tail. I'm going to cover and do some Destroy All Humans. I played the original. This is a remake, and I'm super excited.
What was it?
Destroy All Humans?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, my goodness. I can't wait. I played the original, and it was so much fun. So, yeah. I think that's a show. HBK, it was fun having you here, man.
Hey, it was good to talk to y'all. Kind of last minute fill in.
Yeah. I was like, because I was expecting to do it alone, but I'm like, hey, wait a minute. He's a gamer. We're talking about games. Let's get him on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that, cause? Is that a link?
What'd you guys think of HBK? He do a good job as a host? He might be our backup host from here on out. I liked him here. He was great. So, but I don't have anything else. Those are our game releases coming out the next week. Are you doing any streams this weekend, AD?
We were gonna do DS3, but if Leroy's not joining, I don't know. So Creek, do you want to do something else on our own, or do you want to keep doing DS3? I'm good either way, but we'll see. Just check the Discord for any announcement.
Okay. I am going to say I'm not doing any bonus streams this weekend. I am, however, keep your eye on YouTube. This time, I really mean it. There's going to be some more of my playthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn coming out there, so check that out. But I won't be back streaming until Monday, our regular time. Gotta finish Gothic. Gotta finish that game. Gotta finish it. But all right, I got nothing else. AD, is it time to smile and wave?
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to our new guest, HBK.
Adios.
We're
Thanks,
out.
it was great.
I don't know if this thing you do that we do, but we just smile and wave to end the show.
Smile away, boys.
Smile and wave.
Smile away.